Okay, go live on YouTube. Hey, Sydney, Augustine, Bogdan, how we doing, guys? Listen, I'm just going live on YouTube. So just bear with me a second while we get sorted there. Right, I'm just gonna get a little bit of a radio on if you don't mind. If it if it's a bit noisy, just or too loud, just let me know. Right, okay, let's have a look. So who else we got in? Okay. Um, Des, Neurophone, I'll just say hi to a few guys that have just come in. Listen, so if you're new to the channel, we predominantly focus on trading gold and the NASDQ, okay? Especially through the US session. So we focus on trading gold and the NASDQ. As you can see, this is how I map out my charts. Very simple. Um, Clean charts, no indicators, just the reading of price action. Um, Hi guys, yeah, there's quite a few more coming in. So look, yeah, we focus on trading clean charts. Now look, this has moved beautifully. I'm no longer in the trade, but we did get 30 pips, and then it came back to our entry price and stopped us out break even. So now we're just going to sit and wait for the news. We started a little bit early today. Instant Nut, good afternoon, welcome back. I don't know if that's I, but welcome. Hi Afzal, Mfan, Desgard. Um, yeah, too many coming in to say all your names, but listen, you're appreciated and thank you for coming. So look, a couple of things. I don't trade ICT. I don't trade smart money concepts. I don't trade fair value gaps. So any talk about that is just gonna fall on deaf ears, okay? I'm just a price action trader. If you don't like it, being blunt, no point being here. If you do enjoy it, then listen, please ask me any questions. I'm happy to analyze other charts in the same way that I do this. So please, feel free to ask questions. The more questions you ask, it's better for me. It's more engagement, helps me talk about my process, why I do it. So like I said, guys, YouTube and TikTok, please feel free to ask questions about charts, why I went short at this point. So look, let me get rid of the rules for the breakout trade right now and the rules for the breakout short. So what we were looking at here and why we traded it, it was I define it as a range trade. So as you can see, this market is consolidating, and we've come into the upper area of the range where we previous resistance was up here. Um, Hi guys, and market came in, gave us a strong bullish candle. Next 30-minute candle was a strong bearish candle. Then this 30-minute candle started to push up, push higher. As it pushed higher, we sold underneath the low and we took 30 pips out of it. Now it did come back after we hit our 30 pips, came back, stopped us out break even, and then it continued lower. Now I won't then replace the trade even if I think it's going low because look, right now we're back. If we look at the range, right, if this is the top of the range and because this is where support resistance was formed, this is the bottom of the range. That's 200 pips. So if we're then going to take another trade here, we're bang in the middle of the range. Yes, it could go lower. Yes, we do have clean candle space to work into. But the one thing about the higher time frame setup here, it didn't even give me a top wick to work with. So because it didn't give me a top wick, there would have been no trade regardless. Um, sorry, has there been any questions? No, no questions, just more people coming in. How you make money um, in trading? Aman, you want to make money in trading? Well, listen, the first thing I'd say to you is don't follow signals. Um, Learn the skill. Okay, so because listen, remember, uh, if we think about um, skills. If you pay for a skill, you pay to learn a skill. That's something you're going to have for life and will start paying you back instantly, right? So if you learn a skill, I don't know, let's say it's website development or social media marketing, could be trading, whatever, and you pay X amount of money to learn that skill, you can start earning from that skill instantly, right? But obviously the way the world is created, it's all about education, but the formal route of education, which is colleges, universities, degrees, they cost a fortune. I went down that path. You're going to end up with a load of debt. Yes, you'll get a good job, but in terms of paying it off and getting in front, it's going to happen a lot later down the line. Like you're going to pay it off in decades. Okay. So when it comes to trading or website development, Amazon reseller, whatever you want to look at, these things, once you learn that skill, hey Minha, welcome back. I recognize your name. Um, so we have just missed a trade on live stream. We took it in our members class, um, um, and it's exactly what I'm showing you here. So look, if I was to just go over to my text, pull up text, go to my templates, um, range trade short, just chuck it up here. So resistance form, did we form resistance? Yes. Did we have a seller candle to form? Let's go back to the 30-minute. Yes, we had a seller candle. Next one, rule number 3, next candle to wick up. Did it wick up? Yes, it created a top wick. Rule number 4, do we have clear space to the left-hand side? So when I refer to clear space, let me zoom in so you can see a bit better on TikTok. When I refer to clear space, oh, I mean, do we have nice big-bodied candles? And we do. So that means that if you imagine a motorway or you looking at a road, big bodied candles is no traffic. It's like you're on the freeway, okay? It's just clear running. If you were to then look at, I don't know, let's say this here or this area here. Oh, hold on, let me move it across a little bit more. So I'll just highlight the area I'm referring to. This area, although the market is moving lower, can you see it's got a lot of small bodies, a lot of wicks to the downside, wicks to the upside? That's going to be really hard traffic for you to basically trade into. So whenever I'm looking at placing a trade, whether it's long or short, I'm looking to see if I buy above this resistance area, do I have clear traffic? So if we, oh, hold on, I need to move it across for TikTok. So when I'm looking at this, I'll just move this across. So if I'm looking at this area here, if I want to buy above this resistance area, if we look at this red box, all we have is clear candle space to trade into. So that clear candle space is just like if we're going to buy above that level, the probability of the market going up here is pretty high. Probability of hitting your TPs is going to be really high. Okay, so it's about staying disciplined and waiting for the setup to come to you. Okay, so now as it stands, okay, we've done this trade and it's going to do whatever it's going to do. We've got 25 minutes to wait for the news to come out. Where do I stream if not TikTok? On YouTube. So YouTube and TikTok both run at the same time. Thanks, Tobias. Um, obviously on, hold on a second. I know there was something. Let me do this. Right. There was some feedback I got last week. Is that better? Because I believe on TikTok when the chat is coming up, the chat is going through the charts. So is it better that way around? Yeah, sorry, I completely forgot. All the chat comes through. Yes, I do apologize. Um, so right now, um, the Clip Vault, good name. So yeah, the but do most people stream on YouTube? Uh, I have no idea. I'm new to like social media and streaming, so I've only been doing it a few weeks. Um, in terms of YouTube, I've been streaming on YouTube for since January, I think. Okay, so let me have a look at the DAX. One of my members has just said the DAX is breaking out. So let's go through the analysis. Okay, things to look at here. Daily, where do we see support? So support, now what I like about this, now remember we're still early in the day, but what I see is the market's come down, it's taken out support level, and now it's pushing higher on the daily. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Okay, 4 hour, we can see clear support has definitely been formed. So now potentially we could look long above this 4 hour bearish candle. Uh, Next thing is, right, I want to try and zoom in a little bit more to see if I can find better entries, better setups. Okay, looking at the hourly resistance, we can see here we've closed above, but there's been no wick down, so I wouldn't take this trade yet. Let's look at the 30-minute. Okay, so we're going to adjust now. Resistance. Now, the way that I look at resistance is probably quite different to most people. I look at the body of the bullish candle and the open of the bearish candle. So that's my most recent resistance. So then what I want to see is where is the next resistance level above that. So based on my TPs, I'm looking above here. Now, if I'm going to be a buyer above this area, I want to check that I can hit T1, T2. So we've got 60 pips of potential gate of range, but I would need to see a candle close above this level in order. Why is gold crashing so much? We can create any story we want. So the best reason and the best answer is people are selling it. That's it. Um, we can create a rhetoric, whatever you want. It could be, oh, there's ceasefire talks. It could be, oh, people are going back into equities. It could be the FOMC is happening tomorrow and they may not cut rates. They're forecasted not to cut rates. Trump wants them to cut rates. But what will happen is after the event, people will give you the story that fits the chart. So just always remember, whatever happens on a chart, people will give you the story after the event. They'll never give you it before because you can create any story you want to match the chart. You just have to wait until after the event and you go, oh, there we go. That's what happened. But we never know. We'll never know what the story was. All we know is that if price goes up, there was more buyers. If price goes down, there were more sellers. Okay, um, that's fact. Um, so just looking at this right now, um, I would adjust my support level down to here. So again, this is where we could have a range trade. Okay, so what I want to see here is a 30-minute bearish close. I'm not going to take it on the 15. I would take it on the 30. So what am I looking for? So again, this is what we'll look at. We'll look at doing potentially on the DAX in, I don't know, 20 minutes. Yeah, in about 20 minutes. It may mean we miss the trade. It may mean we miss the trade. So look, this is going to be the same setup as we took on gold, if it gives us the setup. Now this is where you have to be patient as a trader, which is wait for the rules. So I just want to zoom out. I'm going to mark the chart up properly. Okay, so underneath here, I look for cells below. Oh, look, I look for cells below 23,353.6. Okay, so I'll look for cells below that. Now, if I'm looking for cells below that level, that means I want to see price close below it. I'm not going to trade a momentum entry here, especially not on the DAX, not as we're coming into US Open. I would do that with something like the NASDAQ. If it was coming into the open, I'd happily trade momentum entries if it looks like it was going to go. Here, there's two things we can do. We can go for breakout long above 23, 5 to, let's call it 529, or we can look for range trade short below 23, 526. Okay, so we can do either setup here. Obviously, it's going to be dependent how this candle closes. Okay, so it's going to be dependent how this candle closes. If you're following the analysis and understand what I'm saying, just chuck in some likes into the channels, please, guys. And then I'll continue. I just need to know that you're following. If you're following, hit the likes, and that would be appreciated. Yeah, nice. So I always like to try and keep it nice and simple. Yeah. And remember, if something, what am I trading? This is the DAX, the German 40 or the German 30, depending where you're looking at it. Brokers will have different names for the same instrument, just depending where you are. So gold is today long. We just sold it. We just sold it and took 30 pips out of the market in the members channel. Now we'll wait till after the news. So what we're going to look for here, guys, as I said, depends how this candle closes in 20 minutes. Well, 17 minutes now. So always, every day, don't just try and force a trade by saying, right, okay, market's going to move. I'm just going to buy as it breaks the highs. The amount of times candles will break the highs before then reversing to go short. It happens a lot. Okay, so wait for a candle to close. The worst thing by waiting for the candle to close and you not placing a trade is what? What's the worst thing that will happen? Ah, Instant Nut, thank you for sharing the live. Much appreciated. Um, what's the worst thing that can happen by not placing the trade? Yeah, you'll miss the trade. That's it. What's the worst thing? Worst entry. That's if you then take the trade. Yeah, you lose nothing. That's the worst thing that can happen. What's the worst thing that can happen if you take a trade by being impulsive and emotional about the market and you just jumped in? Yes, Simon. Yeah, Simon, you can lose your account just by being impatient. Just yeah, exactly, Nick. Lose everything. So always think about that. Remember, the downside by being impatient is much bigger than the upside by waiting. So if you're prepared to have big downside by being impatient, then trading probably isn't for you. People only ever think about the upside, the returns. They never think about the downside. The downside is what will kill you or what will kill your account. Yeah, so unfortunately, the way social media is positioned these days, um, and the way that traders will portray themselves in their lives and their images in social media will create you to potentially over risk and over trade. You know, that you'll see them sat there spraying champagne, driving Lamborghinis, got women flaunting around them, fine dining all the time. Now, if that yes, I can get how that pulls on your mind and your subconscious. Go, oh, if they're doing that and we can copy trade and do this, then brilliant. You just jump in. There's a these are things that you have to realize that generally aren't real. Yeah, one of the biggest guys out there right now, who's getting paid millions a month, and I don't know how he trades, if he trades, but I know he's getting paid millions from Vantage, and Gold Trader Mo, millions. Okay, Trader E made 7K today, awesome. So just be wary. There's usually an ulterior motive when they're saying, "Oh, I've got 200 spaces free in my VIP group today," or whatever. You know, why is that? I will do this free, and I do this free to encourage, value, and I do it because people can hopefully learn and see what I do and maybe create their own little systems from it. But I also have a business as well. So this is me being transparent. My business is education, and I do this as free to build brand awareness. And if you want to join my membership, you can do. If you don't, you can still have this on the days that I do it that's free. Yeah. Because anyone that tells you that trading is easy and you're going to make money every day, look, they're telling you lies. Because trading is like any other business. You're going to have great days, you're going to have great months, you're going to have bad days, and you'll have bad months. So this is why I have an ecosystem around trading that takes the stress, the pressure off me from making money every day trading. So if you think about it, while you have a job, you have the same stress, you have the same de-stress that I have. So by having a job, you get paid to take pressure off taking trades. You don't need to take trades all the time, right? So once you then decide to move away from, let's say, work because you're making more money trading, then you want to have another income-based system set up. So this is where right now this industry is mad for new traders. There's so many different ways. Um, I trade DAX, gold, and NASDAQ. There's so many different ways that you guys can make money from trading rather than just trading your own personal account. So you trade NASDAQ and Dow 30. Yeah, just NASDAQ, DAX, and gold. So by trading, if you did copy trading, let people copy you. Once you've decided you've created a system that works, then you're going to fly. You know, you can join these platforms, put your system in. You can put your system in, you trade, they'll pull out all your stats. Then anyone that's on that platform, they can copy you and you'll take a percentage of whatever you make on their account. And they'll pay you daily, weekly, or monthly, depending on the platform. Um, do you think we can buy gold right now? I wouldn't. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't do. Oh, sorry, one second. Uh, I wouldn't do anything right now with gold or any of the markets because news is coming out in 11 minutes, right? So let the news come out and then see how it fares because the news could send gold through this support level or it could reverse it and push it right up above the highs. Um, uh, right, so I've missed a few questions. I'm still learning the basics on day trading. Riley, if you can learn the basics and you can keep the simple stuff good, you will do well. What happens is people always like to try and overcomplicate systems. They do this and fine tune it here and fine tune it there. And then they'll take two or three trades and it doesn't work and they tweak it again and then tweak it again. If you're going to do something and you want to do it well, imagine you're doing, do we have any doctors or anyone in the medical world in here? Yeah, exactly, Ren. They do use psychological advertisement. Uh, anyone, anyone in the pharmaceutical world, doctors, nurses, anyone like that? You're an apprentice doctor. Right. Okay. So this is what I do when I work with people on a mentorship basis. Everyone has a skill set, right? It doesn't matter what industry you're from. You just have to align it to something that they're doing. So if you're a doctor, you can think about clinical testing, right? So when anyone that takes a paracetamol, um, no, Anna, that was an answer to a question. If you think about clinical testing, right? Anyone that has a paracetamol, an ibuprofen, whatever, you open the box, retail sales is coming out in 10 minutes. You open the box, there's a leaflet. You've probably never read the leaflet, or you may have done long, long time ago. And in the leaflet, it'll tell you about side effects that can happen when you take the drug. Okay? Whether it's nausea, whether it's drowsiness, whether it's if you have a certain condition, you're not allowed to take it. How do they know this? How do the pharmaceutical companies know this? Because they did clinical testing, clinical trials that showed certain results. And if you have that, then you can expect X, Y, and Z. Um, Now, trading, if you do your clinical trials, which for me, clinical trials trading isn't back testing, okay? It's forward testing. You back test to create a rule in principle. Okay, so a back test, because what I find with back testing is people will do curve fitting, which means they will make the back test fit what is on the chart, and it's not really live. So what you want is rules in principle that mean that you look at it, you go through the chart and back test and go, okay, it looks like these work. Now what we have to do is a different thing. We have to see if they do work. So if you do a back test and let's say it proves that you can make, I don't know, 3 or 4% a month or 5% a month. I'm just going to give round numbers. Let's say 5% a month. When you come to then trade it live, you would expect if there's anything less than, let's say, a 20% variance, there's probably something you're doing incorrect or it doesn't work. I've been trading since 2009, day trading since 2020. Um, so when you think about your clinical trials and your back testing, now you've got your rules and principles. So look, this is how difficult and how complex my rules are. They're not difficult, they're not complex. I can teach people to trade the way that I teach in a very short period of time. The hardest thing is for people to control themselves and not to chop and change systems. So based on your clinical trial back testing, you then start trading and trade with the smallest lot size you can. The smallest. So that's 0.01. You're not going to make any money. You're not going to blow any money. So when you're trading at 0.01, what you're looking for is consistent results to be in line with your back testing results. I'm talking a bit right now because we're waiting for the news to come out. So once you've got those all in line, if you see consistency after, let's say, a month and you've done, I don't know, let's say you average 3 trades a day, so you've got 60 trades of history over the course of the month. So you go, okay, hold on a second. I've taken 60 trades. I've made 4%. Out of those 60 trades, there was 45 trades that won, and the other 15 were either losses or break even. So you can see, right, that your win ratio is high. Your return is, let's say, relatively low, but that's because you've got a high success rate. Now, do you like prop firms or only live? Listen, prop firms are a great way for you to earn money. The problem is a lot of the prop firms will just kill you with restrictions. Um, so if you have a look on, uh, there's one that I really like. I'll share it with you right now. Da, 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 da. Where is it? Here. So copy, copy. There you go. I like. It won't. Why did that not work? Copy. There you go. So there's the one that I really like, and I like them purely because I know a lot of my members have been paid out by them. And the other thing about them is they they're the closest thing to trading your own personal account, which means they're very flexible. There's no daily drawdown limit. You can hedge, you can trade over the weekend, you can trade through news, you can use EAs. Literally everything that you want to do that other companies have restrictions, they don't. The downside, like any other company, is you can't do arbitrage, which it's not a bad thing. You do arbitrage and they'll stop your account. Trader E up 10K. Awesome. Well done. A lot of people coming in. So like I was saying, the best way you can do this is trade small lot size, see the results, you know it works, then the next month you increase the lot size. So you might go from 0.01 to 0.05. If you get the same results, similar stats, guess what you do? You increase your lot size. So it's a little bit like going to the gym, okay? When you go to the gym, you don't just go in and pick up the big weight. You go in, you pick up a weight that you can manage. So trading is going to be the lightest weight because it's going to have the most impact on how you're going to react. You're going to be greedy, you're going to be fearful, you're going to have FOMO. How are you going to react? You're going to do stupid shit when it comes to placing trades and moving stop losses. Um, Cute cat only. Good name. Okay, so we've got 3.5 minutes now till news coming out. Um, all right, what markets is everyone watching? So as you can see, my rules, they're not difficult. Very, very simple. Just 5 steps. So let's see what's going to happen. This can go now because that trade's already happened. Um, how many of you are, let me know if you're new to trading. So let's say if you've been trading less than 3 months, can you just put in the letter Y for under 3 months? Y for yes. Under 3 months. Okay. Um, Seven baby. Hello. Okay. If you've been trading 3 to 6 months, put in the number two. 3 to 6 months, the number two. Bro out on short. We sold gold earlier just before the stream. Okay, if you've been trading 6 to 12 months, put a three. 6 to 12 months, a three. Nice. Okay, so full mixed bag in here today. And if you've been trading over 1 year, put a number four. Nice. Okay. All right. Full mixed bag. Love it. So we've got new, novice, intermediate, and some experience. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so 2 minutes to go. Well, 1 minute and 7 seconds. Let's see what happens. Love it. Nigel's just put seven. He's on his is it gin o'clock yet, Nigel? Nigel's on YouTube. He's one of our members. So does trading count as financial business license if you want to be a resident in the UAE? I don't know. Does trading count as a financial business license if you want to be resident in the UAE? Uh, I mean, if you're setting up a business in the UAE, you're better off speaking to the companies that will set you up in the free zone. They'll tell you exactly. Is trading a side income? That depends on each individual. It started off as a side income for me. Now it's my main business. It seems like a lot of people are using it as a side thing. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you got to think about what's happening in the world. The world's getting more and more expensive to live. Wages aren't increasing at the same rate. So people are looking at different ways of creating extra cash, whether that's through trading, whether it's through like social media marketing, whether it's script writing, whether it's PDF farming, whether it's properties. People are being very entrepreneurial right now because they have to be. Otherwise, they're just going to go backwards. Um, and this is the beauty about trading. You don't need to learn a new language. You can do it from anywhere in the world. You just need to be disciplined. You need a set of rules to follow. Because if you haven't got rules, guess what, guys? If you don't have rules, you're just going to do anything based on the way you feel. Um, yeah, it's the same here in the UK. Hardest thing I'm finding is the teacher to choose. Look, I would say that's the same with anything. It's like going to school, right? You want, I would say when it comes to choosing a teacher, I mean, I've had a few. I've had a few. Um, they all had similar characteristics. The ones that I got the most from um, were ones that I could resonate the most with. So not necessarily the same story. Look, one thing you'll find is uh, when you are following a lot of people, they will do a story, right? They'll do a story and they'll create a story about their life so that it resonates with you. They'll tell you how they had it hard, and then it was the breakthrough moment, and then trading saved their life. Okay? Anyone that does anything well, they've probably had a similar sort of story. Okay? Why did most people start trading? If we haven't gone down the conventional route of trading, i.e., banks and that kind of thing, we've done it to generate extra cash. And then if it is actually working for us, then when we tell our story about how we've gone from selling cars in Doncaster to now doing what I'm doing, and you're you've got the story, right? Okay, so this is the thing, right? You're going to see a lot of this. People are going to play on your heartstrings. Um, Most of it is to try and get capital out of you. Um, but what you want to see is you want to see this is why I live stream now, because I think there's nothing more transparent than sit here and you'll see what I trade, why I trade it. And if you like what you see, guess what? You come back the following day or the day after. And if you want to be included in a community where there's just short of 200 of us that are all very, very similar, some have been with me 7 years, some have been with me 2 months, you know? So it, trading is a lonely business. It's a lonely, lonely business. So it all comes down to yourself and what kind of thing you're looking for. Um, you know, I'm not a I'm not a I'm not a salesman. Uh, and if I am, I'm a very bad one. I just try and be uh, me. Weak news. Yeah, well, you can see nothing's really happened here. Let's have a look at the DAX. 30 minute. Okay, so got bearish candle close. We've wicked up. Yeah, we can. I think we can. Hmm. I'm going to wait another 30 minutes on the DAX. It is potentially a sell underneath here. I would have preferred a little bit of a strong candle on this 30 minute. We can see. Uh, Now it does look different on my broker, and the reason for that is um, my broker data starts at quarter past the hour, whereas on TradingView it starts on the hour. What's the basis of your strategy? Very, very simple. Just price action. So I let price tell me what I'm looking for. So I'm just looking for structure and I'm looking for clean pathways to trade into. Uh, What's that? What's your entry model? Can you go through your strategy briefly? Yeah, let me see if I can find something setting up. If we can find something setting up, then I don't want to trade that. Okay, so things we could look at. We could, they're all in similar price points actually. So okay, let's just do hypothetical, right? Um, let's have a look at the NASDAQ. We'll do hypothetical. I don't like the shorts. Okay, I don't like the shorts, and the shorts I don't like because there's no clear candle space. So each time I'm looking down, you've got. Let me move it across. There we go. So I don't like the shorts on NASDAQ for this reason. Let me show you. So if I drop this in here, if we get a close below here for a short, then I've got this wick here, I've got this support here, I've got more wicks here, more support here, another support here. You've got a little bit of a range here to trade from. That 706 down to, so there's 40 pip range there. So really the first short I would be maybe interested in would be if price broke 21,706. Okay. For the longs, I would be interested in a breakout above 21,879 because I've got 60 pip range from here to here. So I've got a 60 pip range. So I would happily take a trade there. Uh, DAX is potentially setting up. So what I would look for is I'm just going to bring the rules on for a breakout long. So here, breakout long. I was doing the silly thing again. So try it again. Text, rules, breakout long. There we go. So very, very simple. We've identified the level that we want to be a buyer above. So let me just write it in. Buyers above 21,881. 21,881. Okay, so what I would normally do is I'd set an alert here. So I'd just go add alert, and then I'd come over to my alerts, and I'd just write a message on here, just say breakout long. Okay, because remember, I'm waiting for the close, so it makes no odds if price just busts through there and goes. Um, no, breakout is one of them. I have breakout, I have range trade, I have BPC, and I have a flip. So BPC stands for breakout pullback continuation. And guys, everything I'm telling you right now is exactly how I do it. I don't do anything different. The only difference is, hey Vic, how you doing? The only difference is when it comes to placing trades and setups, you just get to see it all the time in the membership. Here, obviously, you'll see it one time a day, 1 o'clock. If we get a setup, fantastic. If we don't, then there's not a lot we can do about it. Let me move these across. Um, okay. Um, am I profitable? You'll see. I mean, I don't think I'd sit on live stream and trade every day in front of people if I was just going to send out losing trades every day, right? But I will have losers. I've had losers on live stream. Last week, I think we had 5 wins out of 5 or 6 wins out of 6 on live stream. If you came in on Friday, we had 2 out of 2. You're not going to get huge wins with me. You're not going to get huge wins. You'll get 10, 20, 30 pips, something like that. But that's that's the way I trade. It's not big wins. We have a high strike rate, currently around 79% for this month. Uh, Daryl, you'll see me trade. I'll place a trade and you'll see. I I don't need to show numbers and things like that because listen, you go onto YouTube and whatever or here, and people will just have fake accounts, whatever, and they'll just show you anything that they want, right? So the only way to be transparent is actually trade live, and you'll see me win and lose, and that's it. What I make or what I lose on that trade is my business, but you'll see me do it live. They're here to see. There's no hiding. It is what it is. And if you attend, I don't know, let's say 10 sessions, and I lose every damn trade, you're gonna go, oh, this guy's a muppet. All right, that's fact. So I I don't show everything. I show how I trade. You'll see my trades live. You'll see everything about it. You'll see me explain it pre the setup. You'll see me trade it during the setup. You'll see me manage it during the setup, and you'll see me exit. So it can't get much more transparent than that. I tell you exactly what I'm going to do before it happens. Yeah. You're bored waiting. I love it. Listen, unfortunately, Daryl, that is what happens with most traders. They get bored waiting. And the best way I can describe trading is it's like being a sniper. Obviously, there's traders out there that'll just hit their buy and sell button like this and they're just going crazy. But the downside to that is, oh, I don't know. I've never done that and I couldn't do that. Um, I seem normal. I'm not sure my missus would agree with that. Uh, cheers, Daryl. Appreciate it. Angelo, how are we doing? What's my heritage? Do you mean where was I born? I was born in the financial center of the earth, an amazing place called Doncaster. So that's South Yorkshire, England. So yeah, I'm a Yorkshire lad. Um, Family's still there. Um, but yeah, I've been in London since 2010 now, I think. 2010. I go back home and people say I've lost my accent. I come down here and everyone thinks I sound like a northerner. So it is quite funny. Uh, uh, all right, so yeah, just waiting, guys. This now. Look, I told you I didn't like this little candle. So I decided to wait an extra half an hour. If I'd have just placed that sell now, guys, I'd be sat in this trade livid with myself. I'd have been livid. Which broker do you use or recommend? Right Crown. If you go, so is this for personal trading or is it for funded accounts? What about gold? There's nothing, right? So look, I'm going to tell you this. This area is what I call no trade range. Um, for personal, I've got a couple that I use. One is Icon, another is Global Prime. You should be able to see both of those in my stand store. Uh, what questions are we getting asked there? What about gold? Hillman. Yeah, look, I mean, look, this area, there's nothing to do here. This is now just, it's consolidation, and now we're having this little move around. It just, we can't do anything. We cannot do anything. We have to wait for some confirmation. So looking at the DAX, it's just, we've got to sit tight. We have to sit tight. Um, okay, guys, so just people that are in here, Nigel Briggs, yes, Sonny Donny. Hey, they got promoted last year. They got promoted. It's the first time I think Rovers have been promoted in a while. Need to go do my TA back later. All right, see you, bud. Thanks for joining in for a bit. Uh, just wait for this damn thing to. Glad I found you someone who is realistic. Ah, appreciate it, mate. Very kind. So I will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Yeah. Could you elaborate on your gold explanation, mate? Why you can't trade it at the minute? Okay, so yeah, sure. Let me go back to gold. So basically, when I was in earlier, and I was speaking about my levels and my ranges. So I'm happy to, let's say, sell below uh, three 3378. Oops, 3378. Let's call it zero point 0.8. Okay, so things to consider when you're trading is you want to be able to identify a clear path to your target. So it's a bit like, I don't know, you want to drive from London to Scotland. We all use a sat nav of some sort, whether it's Waze or your car nav, whatever, and it always gives you the fastest route, right? So why do we want to take the fastest route? Because we don't want to waste time. So when you want to trade, you want to think which, if I was to place a trade, where would I want to trade? Where would I want to place that trade that has a potential fastest route to get to the next zone? So let's just say I wanted to buy, you'll see a lot of traders that will trade from zone to zone. So let's say you wanted to buy down here because this is a support level. Well, I would look left and see what candles are here. If you've got big black bodied candles, um, if you've got big black body candles, then that is clear path because it's just been directional sellers. There's been no indecision. There's been no to and fro and backwards and forwards. Okay, so the reason I want to look long above this level here, let me just highlight it. The reason I want to go long above this level here is because if we look here, oops, if we look here, look at the size of that candle. There's no small bodies, there's no wicks, there's no noise. Whereas imagine it was like this there, then I sure as hell wouldn't want to trade long above it. Because the probability of me going up into this area and coming back down is high because we've seen that happen from the market. The price action is telling me that traders have gone in there, they've pushed the price up and it's come back down. They've pushed the price up, it's come back down. So you could be sitting for ages and then it could just come down and drop. We don't know. So I always like to give myself the highest probability trading option of hitting my target. And I would say that is where you've got clear candle space, nice big candles. Probability of it getting stuck anywhere in here is pretty low because look what happened. Last time it was in this range, it just fell through the floor. How do I mark those levels out? So the levels are marked out based on candles. So if you look here, we've had bullish candle, bearish candle, and I mark it based on the closing prices. So the closing price of the bullish and the open of the bearish. Now there's another level just here, but I wouldn't want to buy above that level because of this level. And there's another level just here, and I wouldn't want to buy above that level because of this level, and this level. So I revert everything back to the highest one where I've got at least 20 pips or 30 pips that I can trade into. Yeah, does that make sense? If that made sense, guys, just chuck a few hearts into the chat. Thanks, Marcus. Appreciate it. Should we buy gold now? Absolutely not. Not for me. For me, this red zone is a no trade zone. I'm doing nothing. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate the likes. Um, so that's it. And like I said, it's not a difficult approach. I know anyone can find these levels. It doesn't take me long to explain this to someone. What takes me a long time with traders when I work with them on a one-to-one basis is keeping them disciplined and staying out of getting excited when they see a market drop and then just jumping into a trade. So that's the most difficult thing. Trading can be as simple as we want it, but it can also be as difficult as we want it. The black candle is selling and a white candle is buying. Yeah, for me, that's correct. Now, obviously, everyone uses the colors that they like to use. I'm very much black and white type of guy, so I like to keep everything black and white. Traditionally, you're going to see people using red and green. Use whichever colors resonate with you best. Now, I like to try and keep it as dumbed down or as plain as possible because, certain colors can trigger emotional instincts. The brighter they are, can be more emotionally enticing for you to buy or sell. It's the Vegas thing. Why is the flashing lights on in Vegas? Why are the flashing lights when you go into casinos and things? Because it attracts it stimulates your brain, it stimulates your reticular activating system. So you see all these things, it, it's endorphins, yeah. Uh, Thank you. What's that? Thomas? Black Candles. Great explanation. Call me someone. Thank you. Did I get a message from you? Call me some. I'm just so thank. Cheers, Marcus. So yeah, try and keep everything as low key and as boring as possible. The more boring it is, the more likely to be disciplined. Okay? As soon as you as soon as you start getting all excited and giddy because you've done something, the probability is you're gonna start doing something a little bit more erratic. Yeah. What is your preferred indicator to use for confirmation? Um, there's only one place for indicators, guys. Do you know where that is? One place for indicators. What do you think it is? People in YouTube will know the answer because some of my members are there. There's one place for indicators. It's in your car. Turning left, turning right. That's it. Exactly, Darren. Yeah. Um, can you view buy or sell? There's no buy or sell for me right now. I don't know if you've just joined. If you've just joined, then it's definitely yeah, just price action traders, guys. Price action. Yeah, this is one. It's easy when you know, right? The amount of times you get asked a question and then someone gives you the answer, you're like, oh my God, I knew that. But it's only easy when you know, right? It's only easy when you know. Um, okay, so yeah, we're just I know it's been a bit flat today, but look, we can't force anything. Forcing trades will only lead to tears, and we don't want tears. We don't want tears. If we take a losing trade through being disciplined, I'm happy as hell with that. Okay? If we take a losing trade through being ill-disciplined and impatient, then that really pisses me off. Um, and look, I still do it. I still do it. I don't intend to do it, and I set out with the best will and intention to do it, not to do it. But occasionally, I will. We're human. Humans make mistakes. It's about what we do after them. Do you think one trade a day is good? Casper SMC keeps saying his strategy is good, but it's one trade a day. Hey, listen, how many trades do you need to take to be profitable? How many trades do you need to take to be profitable? Cleary, I have, there you go. Look, I just pull them up so you can see it. These are my setups. How many trades do you need to be profitable? It's just one trade. You only need one trade. If it's profitable, you're profitable. Yeah? You only need one trade. Now, the question is, can you just do one trade and can you be profitable with one trade? Law of averages says probably not, because if you're doing one trade and you're profitable, that means you have to be 100% successful. So you're always going to have losing trades, right? I'll trade anything between like 1 to 3 trades in a session. Um, yeah, just one can make you profitable. Just one winning trade can make you profitable. So if you can find one winning trade, you've already beaten the market. You've already beaten the market. And all you want to do as a trader is beat the market. And what do I mean by beating the market? Well, beating the market is generating, let's say, 10% a year. If you can do more than 10% a year, you're beating the market. Because you can put your cash in an index fund that will, over the course of time, not every year, over the course of time will average out about 10%. Well, again, Tobias, that depends on how much you made on your winning trades and how much you lost on your losing trades. So, but if you had one winning trade, you're profitable. But if you then lost two losing trades that were the same size as your winning trades, you're down. With enough experience, is this second job income or main income? Um, Look, I use trading as cash flow basically, right? So it's up to you what you want to do. I think anyone that is good at trading will utilize it to create wealth that they can go and put in other assets. Yeah. So you'll use it as your main income at some point. Um, and then from that you can go into other assets. So just remember, like, buy assets, hold on to them, and they will grow over time. So if you're looking at, I don't know, your $1 bought you X amount of gold back in 2010. It's now the dollar is still worth $1, but it gets you a fraction of what it gets you gold. Or if you bought a property, let's say for $100,000 in 2010, it'll get you a fraction of the property now in 2025. So this is down to inflation. Your pounds, your dollars are worth less and less every year. So utilize your cash to trade it for assets. It's just a very, very simple way of looking at how to utilize wealth, and there's no now obviously that those assets will depreciate over time, but if you look at it on a long-term perspective, they're going to appreciate. Yeah. Uh, God, it's a painful session, this one. Painful for you guys as well. You've just had to listen to me rabbit on. We've got 3 minutes for the hourly candle to close. Okay, we're potentially, if this one closes like this, I will be placing a sell setup. All we need is the next candle to wick up. I need it to close, I don't know, let's say below 23. Anyway, if it closes very, very close to the open, then there's going to be no setup. Um, because if it closes near the open, it's going to be a very, very similar setup to this one. I need it to drop a little bit in the next couple of minutes. Um, Guys, how's the session been apart from quiet? Have you found it valuable? Do you do mentorships or anything? I learn more from listening to you than the YouTube videos, I feel like. Tobias, yeah, I do have a membership community. Most of them are in the YouTube channel right now. Um, but yeah, I'll show you, I'll send you, take a look. So this is, I appreciate the comments as well, by the way, guys. Um, and one thing you'll know from me, for those of you that have been here before, I am very repetitive. Don't expect to learn something new every day. Um, so I just posted a link there on the stand store. You can, Tobias, you can see the memberships and the free channels that I run. They're all there. Spinning top, the market seems confused up and down, but finally closes near the opening price. Yeah, I mean, look, we do have FOMC today, tomorrow as well. So I think the markets are just being flat, and these are the best type of markets to get absolutely screwed in, by the way, guys. The best type of markets to get screwed in. Um, by the way, guys, I'm going to say this while there's quite a lot of you on here. Um, Someone from TikTok did get in contact with me, let's say a couple of days ago, about potentially looking at exploring some of my other avenues. And then someone has contacted him on a USA number. Um, I'm pretending to be me and started asking for crypto. So just be really, really careful. I will never ask for crypto. I will never message you outright unless you message me. So just remember, I will never ever message people directly. Okay? I'll do live streams and then people will usually message me or something like that. I will never message you directly. So if you ever get a message from someone pretending to be me or Trade and Train, um, just be very, very careful. My social media name is official Trade and Train with one N, and I'll never message you off a USA number. So, guys, I just thought I'd make you aware of that right now because someone literally had that today. So just be really, really careful out there. There's a lot of us that will do anything they can to get hold of your cash. So just be very, very careful. Um, yeah, this is the 30-minute time frame on gold. But as you can see, it's just markets aren't doing anything. The closest thing we've got to a setup was the DAX. But I'm gonna pass. It's just too indecisive. All right, let's have a look. I'm just gonna move this up a little bit. If we can get a close above, so that's gonna be, hold on, what's the price? 25, 23,535. 23,535. Okay. If we get a close above on the 15-minute and then the next candle wicks down, we'll buy the high of the candle. Mr. Lee Crooks, you're a top trader, Mark. Keep up the fantastic. Cheers, pal. Not seen you for a while. You've been out on that golf course with your lad. Coleman, I'm going to follow you on Instagram in case I have any questions or need advice. Yeah, of course. So listen, it's the same, it's the same handle as on TikTok. So it's just official trade and train. Uh, Okay, so still waiting, guys. Yeah, this is the thing I will teach you the most. Patience pays. Patience pays, right? There's no point jumping in, and I will say this every session, every session. I'd rather be a pilot on the floor wishing I was in the air than a pilot in the air wishing I was on the floor. Okay? Just remember that saying and just think about trading. There's NASDAQ's no good, gold's no good. Only thing that has potential for me setting up is the DAX. Now, if this 30 minute, so this is where we can have a look at a few different things, right? So when we're in critical areas like this, the highest probability of your trade is going to come when you're trading from as close to the area where that we're interested in. So here, if I get a 15-minute candle closure above this level and a wick down, I'll buy the highs. If I get a strong 30-minute candle close and a wick up, I'll sell the lows. Um, where we have step-by-step learning trading. Um, Here, I mean, look, obviously the thing. I mean, look, if you want to think about, if I'll go over some very basic. Oh, brilliant! Well done, Pastor. I'm going to give you some very basic price action, guys. And if you just apply this, you're going to be ahead of the market. Okay, so if this is our candle, right? So this is the high, this is the low. Um, the next candle can only do four different things. There's only four variables that the next candle can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy that and move it. The next candle can do this. It can go down. It can create a lower high and a lower low. I call this downrange. Okay, it's a downrange candle. The next candle can then do this, and that would be an uprange because it has a higher high and a higher low. The next candle can do this. That's what I call an outside candle. Some of you will refer to it as an engulfing candle. The next candle is an inside. Okay, so that four bits of price action. So you've got downrange, uprange, outside, and inside. It's an outside candle because it has a higher high and a lower low than the previous candle. This one's an inside because it has a lower high and a higher low. A candle can't do anything else than those four things. Can't do anything else. Commander in Chief, how are we doing? Okay, so because it can't do anything else, right? Because it can't do anything else, which one of these candles do you think you'll see more of in an uptrend? Which one of these do you think you'll see more of in an uptrend? Which candle do you think you'll see more of in an uptrend? A downrange, an uprange, an outside, or an inside? Yes, UTE. Yep, exactly. Uprange. Okay, so now let's think about a simplistic way that we could utilize taking advantage of uprange candles in an uptrend. Okay, so if we want to fire a bow and arrow, what do we do with the bow? We pull it back, we let go, and that arrow projects forward. If we got one of those cars when we were a kid, we'd pull it back and let go, and it'd go forward. If we want to fire a gun, we cock it, we pull the trigger, and the hammer hits the bullet and it pushes it forward. So if we had some really simple rules that said, right, I only want to trade uprange candles in an uptrend, and I'm only going to trade the break of the high if the next candle has a wick down. So look, we've got an uptrend. If the next candle wicks down, we buy the break of the high. This one, we don't know if it's gone down first or what. Next candle wicks down, breaks the high. Next candle wicks down, breaks the high. So you can create a very, very simple rule-based system by using that kind of analysis. Then you can add layers on it. My layers are things like resistance levels, where I'm looking for breakouts. Then you can look and say, right, I'm adding another layer, which is I'm looking for clear candle space. Yeah, so these are all just like simple little layers that you can add to create a set of rules. Once you've created the rules, you just stick to it. If you followed that process, guys, just hit some hearts. Yeah, nice. So are we going to be doing a live stream tomorrow at 1 o'clock? If we want to see a live stream, should we see if we can get up over 4K in those hearts? Yeah? Oh, you guys are smashing it. There's obviously, I know you wouldn't be just putting them there if you didn't enjoy today's session. And remember, trading, I know you want to trade. I know you want to trade. I know you want to take profitable trades. But sometimes staying out the market is what will make you profitable. Because there's times where you literally shouldn't be trading. And okay, we're waiting for a setup that might come. It may not come. And if it doesn't come, guess what? We don't place a trade. I'm fed up of seeing so many people talking about placing trades, placing trades, placing trades. And then you just hear the horror stories about what's happened. Now, the best thing you can do is stay disciplined, focus on, remember, every candle tells a story. And that can be time frame, it can be whatever. The more candles you understand, the more stories you read, the better the book is going to become. So you're just trying to unravel the book. You're trying to work out, right, where do I trade from? How do I do that? What am I looking for? Focus on one setup. Focus on the setup. If you focused on the process, hey Thomas, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. If you focus on the process, the prize will follow. The time it takes, no idea. Okay, everyone's learning curve is different. Everyone's psychology to trading is very, very different. You know, you have to think about, right, are you adverse to risk? Can you be disciplined? Can you concentrate and follow through with simple instructions when you're going through periods of stress? Yeah. What are your A setups? To me, I don't have A, B, C, D setups. You know, I have setups. So look, I'll show you what my setups are. These are my, you can call it systems, strategies, whatever you want to call. I'll trade a breakout. I will trade a false breakout. I will trade a flip. I'll trade a range trade. And number 3 there, BPC, that stands for breakout, pullback, continuation. Pardon my question. Do I believe in fair value gaps? Uh, I no comment. I don't know anything about them. I just I see a lot of talk about it, so I don't want to comment. Um, bro thought he was in an edit. Uh, yeah, so I just focus on what I do, right? Um, and that's not being pig-headed. It's just something that works. I stick to it, and then that's it. Uh, okay, so hmm, okay, so the issue I have right now is this is potentially setting up on the 30 minute. Now, Can we buy gold now? It's up to you. Not for me. This red zone is, I'm going to be interested in gold if we get above 34.04. I need a bullish candle. So I've got to wait 18 minutes. Um, by all means, yeah, I can see why you would look at it. I can see why you'd potentially want to be buying above this high. Um, but it just doesn't fit my rules. So unfortunately, I have to sit on the sidelines. So I've got really itchy nose. I don't know. Hooligan, when you want to buy gold, what is the code identifier tracker you search for? Okay, XAU USD. XAU USD. Uh, yeah, we've had quite a lot of new names in today that I don't recognize, so that's nice. I always like it when we get new people in, and we've had a lot of old names or recognizable names that have come back, so that's always good to see. I appreciate that not everyone wants to just sit here and listen to someone talk when there's no trade setting up. So I can understand why some of you might find it boring. And you know what? If you do, then maybe this isn't the right channel for you. Because most of the time, if we're on for an hour and a half, like I said, if if we're a busy day, we'll get two trades. So there's going to be most of the time you're just going to listen to me rabbit on about discipline, about price action, analogies that I might be able to have with someone that's telling me what industry they're in, you know? So everything when it comes to trading and when you're here on my live stream, you're gonna it's gonna get very repetitive. But as they say, repetition is the mother skill. I'm more encouraged to continue a trade when you're on that trade. That was my first time on your live. Really enjoyed the vibes. Good luck for the future. Cheers, Ryan. Appreciate the nice comments. Uh, got some we got some good folks in today. I like it. So which time frame do you prefer to take a trade from? Either the 15, the 30, or the H1. 15, 30, and H1. They're my times. Um, so we'll see what happens over the next right. Any other questions? What's your favorite market to trade, guys? Let me know what your favorite market to trade is. WhatsApp website are you using? Uh, uh, is that for to contact? So my that's my store, where you can see my free channels and memberships, etc. Um, Damn it, I'm here new to investing and trading. I have absolutely no idea what's displayed. Lord have mercy. All right, Dammy. Well, the first thing you should do is definitely not place any trades. Um, Look, I hate demo accounts. I hate demo accounts, but there's a place for them. And that place right now, Dammy, is for you. So a demo account is where you want to learn how a broker's platform is used. So you want to be able to navigate your way around their platform. You want to be able to understand how to place a trade, close a trade. You want to be able to see the symbols. You want to know how to manage a trade. Once you know how to do that, then you can explore trading live on the smallest lots possible. Once you've had a little bit of training, yeah. Do not Whatever you do, do not just go and deposit money into a trading account and then start trading if this is completely new to you, yeah. That'll be the quickest way and the most expensive lesson you'll ever have. Right, so we're still sat waiting for something to happen. It's like being watching paint dry today. What we got? No. I think in 13 minutes I'm going to call it a day. It's just not happening for us today. Unless we get above 34.04, then yeah, I'll look for a trade. Okay, so I trade gold, NASDAQ, and the DAX. That's it, those three markets. How many confirmations do you look for before your order? Well, let's just say we're going to trade a breakout on gold. Here you go. Here's the rules. There you go. That's all I'm looking for. Let me make it a bit bigger in case you can't see it. So very, very simple, guys. Like I said, it's not difficult. Can I look at the NASDAQ? Absolutely, Anna. 1 second. Um, okay, I don't like the shorts if you're thinking about shorts, just because I don't like all this candle space to the, oh, let me move it across. I don't like this candle space here. It's just too messy. I'd happily go long above 21,881. Got a close above. And then potentially we get the daily flip above 21,940. So we'll see what happens on the open. Gold short or long? Neither at the minute. If we get a close above 34.04, I'll look to buy. If we get a close below 33.78, I'll look to sell. This red zone, where we currently, what we're trading in right now, no trade zone for me. Falco death. Um, yeah, so that's what I'll be looking for. Now, if we can get a close above, on, then we've got a breakout coming up. Um, Pleasure, Anna. No problem, darling. So yeah, literally we've got about 10 minutes left and then I'm done for the day. Uh, it's just a little bit of a non-event for us today. The news came, nothing happened. Uh, we did have a trade pre the news. I shared it on my free Telegram channel and I shared it in the members channel as well. Um, so if you're not in the free Telegram channel, just click on that standstill link and get yourself access. Just go to the free Telegram channel and get yourself on there. Um, so you can do that here, guys. Gold would continue to rise if Middle East conflict continues. Yeah, I mean, look, fundamentally, long-term bias is long based on not just the fundamentals from the Middle East, Russia, Ukraine. We also have dollar that it's been weakened on the back of its ratings downgrade from AAA to AA a few weeks back. Trump also wants 100 basis points cut. So fundamentally speaking, we want a weaker dollar. Um, but it doesn't mean that the market will just go up because we want a weaker dollar. So, you know, think about the people that have been in gold since $1,500, $2,000. They will probably, uh, people will want to realize profits, and you don't become to realize profits unless you become a seller of gold. So the market's always going to fluctuate. So even if there is real strong sentiment for it to be up based on technicals and fundamentals, it can still go lower. So don't never risk more than you would normally risk just because there's a lot of confluences. So yeah, my bias is long. But I will still trade short and long as you can see. I'd I'd be buying above 34.04 and I'd sell below 33.78. Okay. What's my opinion on live and funded accounts? Well, look, funded accounts are brilliant. No, I wish they were around when I first started trading. There's no better way for you to make extra cash, but it's just finding one that suits your style of trading. So I've posted in here the one that I recommend. Um, but this is slightly different. It's a live oops, it's a live account. Um, so you're actually basically getting, where is it now? You don't have to go through any challenges, but the difference is you it's on a scaling basis. There's no daily drawdowns. You can sorry, let me just get the link. So you can use EAs, you can trade the news, you can do lots of things like that. The biggest thing I would say is there's no daily drawdown limit. You can hold over the weekend, you can go long short, you don't have to have a stop loss if you don't want. A funded account is where you buy a demo account from most of them. Um, you you what's that? Those long-term longs are not getting out. The biggest buyer of gold since Jan 24 is China. Yeah, that's true, but it will still fluctuate. Listen, they're only buying. You know, why are people buying gold, or why is China buying gold? Because they're trying to come away from the dollar. They're trying to de-dollarize. BRIC index trying to de-dollarize, but it still doesn't mean that they're like they announced. I think it was in Jan that they stopped buying gold. They were doing like 3 tons a month or 30 tons a month. I don't know the exact quantities. You just don't believe what we read in papers, don't believe what we read in news, just look at the charts. Okay? We'll never know the truth. The closest thing you'll ever see will be based on futures contracts. Um, So a funded account is you buy a demo account 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100 from a provider for a few hundred, for a fraction of the cost of the amount that they will actually give you to trade. You then have to pass a challenge. That challenge will then allow you, if you pass the challenge and stay within all their restrictions, their parameters, they will then give you, in theory, a live account. It's not a live account, again, it is a demo account. But if you hit your profit target, they will then pay you a percentage of those profits. So I don't know, let's say for, I don't know, $400, $500, you might be able to get a $100,000 account. And you'll be able to get 80% of the profits you make, providing you pass the challenge and you stick within their parameters. Now, their parameters are designed for you to fail. People do pass and people do get paid out. Okay? They do pass and they do get paid out. So it's finding one that works. China have bought 150 tons. What if what's funny about that? There's, uh, 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 okay, so May purchases uh, bought roughly 2 tons of gold to its reserve, bringing its total holdings to 2,296 tons. Year-to-date purchases 17 tons in the first 5 months of 2025. So I think so you can get your facts online straight away if you want, pal. Hooligan, there you go. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. So it's a, but even that, I'm not sure I would believe everything that I see. I mean, there's not that many tons of. You see all these. China is holding 25,000 tons. Okay. And uh, how much gold has been mined? So total above, there's been a total of 216,000 tons of gold mined ever. How much of that is in jewelry? Ever. So you, uh, so export 100,000 tons of to copper to China. Okay. Anyhow, I will let you carry on your little rant. Um, there's more fake gold contracts that are being traded CIF, and so I don't believe anything that I see. Copper, maybe, but I don't believe anything I see about all these commodity traders out there. Most of it is all fraudulent nonsense. Uh, I looked into it quite. I looked into it quite a bit, and everything. I'm not saying you are, but most of it was all absolute nonsense. It just gets down to the bottom line, and everyone just starts arguing about intermediaries fees, and then it never exists, and then you can't deliver it. So, yeah, uh, um, yeah. I'm not a big believer in that stuff. But that's me. That's me. Anyway, guys, it is 2:30. Gold is not doing anything. DAX isn't doing anything. NASDAQ's doing nothing. I've spoke for 90 minutes now and not had chance to place a single trade. But like I said, that's the part of the industry, right? Just learn to be disciplined, wait for your rules, and fingers crossed we get a setup. And if we do, we do. And if we don't, we don't. Uh, Everyone that has attended and engaged, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your comments. Um, YouTube, thank you so much. I'll see you all tomorrow. Um, Everyone on here, first time I didn't pass and tried a bit more. Yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate your time. Appreciate your comments and questions. It helps with me talking. I love the engagement because without the engagement, I'd really struggle to just keep talking and talking. So, guys, see you tomorrow. Yeah, we smashed the 5K, so lovely. See you tomorrow. YouTube, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Thank you.